People have often left comments on my channel when I'm talking about certain topics that I find interesting or that I think pertain to homesteading. They say, Zach, I wish you stopped talking about the news. I wish you just concentrate on homesteading. And it's true. A lot of homesteading channels right now are talking about a lot of news items. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of the news items out there directly or indirectly affect homesteading. This desire, this need to detach from the system, to become more self-reliant and less dependent on the system that we find fragile and sometimes just downright unhealthy. A lot of people who are homesteaders, they do so because they want a more healthier, active lifestyle. They want to produce things, the food items on their own. They want to be more independent from the system that they used to be more, connected to. And so we talk about these things. I mean, just this week there was announced, or maybe last week, announced that there's a new clot shot for honeybees. How many homesteaders out there raise honeybees? Lots of them. I've never done it, but I have neighbors who've done it. I have lots of friends who've done it. But they're now talking about this new approved, it's probably the USDA. And speaking of the USDA, we're going to make this a raw milk update. Because if you don't know, every time you take a drink of raw milk, somebody's head over at the USDA explodes. Did you hear it? It was just a head exploded over at the USDA. So unhealthy for you, Zach. So unhealthy. I've been drinking raw milk for well over almost 2 decades, and I love it. Anyway, so you've got all these news items out there. The whole wood and gas stove thing. I've had a number of you guys who have contacted me and said, Zach, you called this like 6 months ago. Yes, there were articles that came out from California how Gavin Newsom was definitely going after your gas appliances. Gas stoves, gas dryers, gas washers, whatever, anything gas, I'm coming after it. He's going to ban it. The articles were out there. And then, and Biden got so much pushback from this, he was like backing off on it. And his spokesperson at the White House said, oh, we're not coming after gas stoves. That's right-wing lunacy that the Republicans are trying to scare tactic everybody. We're not doing that. Let's go pay attention to something else over here. No, they're coming after your gas stoves, your gas appliances. They're coming after your wood stoves. I've been saying this for a while. There's tons of articles. They're making it way hard. They're banning them outright in certain states or certain places. A lot of new homes can't get them. It's against the whatever HOA you're in or whatever. Your insurance companies will not give you insurance. So you can't get a mortgage if you don't get insurance. They're getting rid of these things because they don't want you to have them. These people who are over at the Davos thing right now, the World Economic Forum, they don't want you to have these things. Anyway, all that aside, there's a lot in the news and a lot of it affects homesteading, and that's why you're seeing so many homesteaders talking about news items. And there are definitely homesteaders out there who are concentrating on homesteading day in, day out. It's all about chickens, goats, sheep, whatever they're raising in their garden or whatever. It's all, fencing. It's all homesteading all the time. But the thing is, we need to talk about some of these things. They're important to people like us. And rather than be non-political, apolitical, I think it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to say no and exercise your no muscle. No. It's okay to speak out and say, this is not right. You're not going to do it here. I'm not going to comply. It's okay. And for people who get frustrated with people who say no, okay, there's other homesteading channels you can watch. And YouTube would rather you probably do that anyway. So there's this food chart that's been going around the internet. Here it is. I started seeing this on the internet around about a week ago. Absolutely being shared a lot, especially on Twitter. And it kind of gives you supposedly, the healthier choices for foods. The green to be encouraged, the yellow to be moderated, and the red to be minimized. And the first thing everyone notices here, you've got at number 3, right next to kale, frosted mini wheats. Are you serious? What in the world? Who came up with this? Was this a government study? They have here below Honey Nut Cheerios in the green, and you have, cheddar cheese down here in the red. Or whole milk, whole raw milk. If they knew it was whole raw milk, they would have been definitely down in the red. Did you hear the heads exploding over at the USDA? Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms is in the yellow, and whole wheat bread is lower, or at the same has the same score as Lucky Charms. Ground beef is way down at the bottom, and Lucky Charms is way over up top in the yellow. So people are seeing this and they're like, seriously, where is this coming from? Who came up with this? Well, we can dive down deep on that. So what you're seeing here is something that's being called the Food Compass. The Food Compass is a novel food rating system developed by researchers at Tufts University. Dear Lord, I feel sorry for any of your kids who are going to that school. By evaluating foods across 9 domains and using a unique algorithm to determine a score, we can assign a Food Compass score, an FCS, between 1 and 100, with 100 being the most healthful to nearly any food. All right, now let's go back to our chart. The 100 being the most healthful to nearly any food when it's compared to it. That means you should be able to subsist completely and almost entirely on frosted mini wheats. Oh, we are living in bizarro world, folks. Bizarro world. You dive down deep some more on this. The Food Compass is a nutrient profiling system using expanded characteristics for assessing healthfulness in foods. This is taxpayer-funded research, folks. You can dive down. There's a study here you can find over at nature.com. It has an article where you can read all about it, and it goes through all the ins and outs and how they are determining that frosted mini wheats are just below kale when it comes to a rating system of health and nutrition. So all of these things are available for your perusal on the internet. But again, this just shows you, like, listen, guys, many of us became homesteaders because we knew that the processed foods in the stores are unhealthy for us. So we wanted to grow gardens. We wanted to get our hands in the dirt. We wanted to get closer to, being able to raise things on our own level and get away from things that the supermarket is pushing on you. It used to be the case where you could, if they said, if you go into a supermarket, you go around the outer edges and you just eat that stuff and you leave everything in the middle alone because it's all highly processed. But that's not really true anymore. And you can't trust that anymore because a lot of the stuff around the edges even is genetically modified. And they're working on putting, clot shots in the things you buy along the edges of those things. I mean, this has been openly discussed now. They're admitting that that's the goal. So naturally, this makes a lot of people who want to raise their own food and raise their own livestock a little ticked off. Because it's sometimes, a lot of us, we still go to the grocery store. We still shop. We still buy groceries from time to time. None of us are 100% self-reliant, nor were the pioneers who lived in the 1800s, those homesteaders who braved the new world, who went out west. They traded amongst themselves. They still went to the general store. They did barter. They weren't 100%. Nobody's 100% or can be 100% self-reliant. This is the world we're living in today. Take another drink, blow up another head. Have you guys seen this chart that I'm talking about? Have you seen it shared around the internet? I've seen it in a lot of places. Mostly people are they can't believe that it's true. They can't understand, who could come up with frosted mini wheats above ground beef or Lucky Charms being more healthy than ground beef. What cows are you talking about? I don't understand. Again, it's bizarro world. And like you're probably as confused as I am. So I don't know what to do with all this. All you can do is just, try your best and do what you can to give your families healthy food items and give them an option away from what the world is saying is right and what is wrong. That's where we're at today. But you want to know why so many homesteaders are talking about the news all the time, constantly? That's why. It affects us. It hits close to home. And so that's why we talk about it. Anyway, leave your comments below. I want to know what you think. What do you guys think about the chart? Have you seen the chart? And, let me know if you're going to subsist on frosted mini wheats. Let me know how life is for you. Maybe I'm making a wrong choice here. Maybe I'm completely backwards on this, and I should go out and buy a few boxes of frosted mini wheats and, try that out for a while. All right, guys. Hey, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. Shirts in the description below. You can find our best-selling shirt, Stupid Shit Hurt. Best-selling shirt of all time. If there was a lot more hurt in this world, there'd be a lot less stupid. You can check it out. Links in the description right below. Big conversation starter. People, your friends, your family will love it. Great. Makes a great gift for a birthday or something. Anyway, all right, guys. Again, comments below. Let me know what you think. Frosted Mini Wheats. Lucky Charms. Yeah. I'll stick with the raw milk. And not with Frosted Mini Wheats. See you next time in the homestead. Bye! This is Grandma. Grandma survived the Great Depression. She survived the Great Depression because her supply chain was local and she knew how to do stuff. Grandma was smart. Grandma told us to make do with what you got. She also said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Homesteading is all about self-reliance and declaring ourselves to be independent from the system. We grow our own food, we raise our own animals, and doing these things helps safeguard our families from the unpredictable world that surrounds us. But what about banking? I love being my own power company, but what about being my own bank? Right now, our country is over $30 trillion in debt and rising. The Fed keeps printing money, and the Congress won't stop spending money. Staying attached to the modern banking system and their investment vehicles is like putting all of your eggs in one very, very fragile basket. On one side, you have the threat of inflation and your savings value floating away, and the other side is a possible deflationary stock market collapse, just like what happened in the 1930s. Genesis Gold Group is like a basket holding eggs, and these eggs are impossible to break. History shows us that all paper investments have and will return to their intrinsic value eventually. Zero. But gold, silver, and other precious metals have never, ever been worthless. In every collapse throughout history, people have turned back to precious metals to find monetary value. If you have a 401k, an IRA, or a savings account where you're literally watching the purchasing power inflate away, give Genesis Gold Group a call right now. Today, this instant. They can develop a strategy for you in the days ahead. I can tell you how I raise sheep, I can tell you how I raise chickens, or the best way to grow tomatoes, or how to hook up a solar panel. But Genesis Gold Group is your best shot at safeguarding your hard-earned savings and investments during this increasingly turbulent time in history. The link and phone number is in the description below, or visit their website at genesisgoldgroup.com. And be sure to say you heard about them from An American Homestead. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of An American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.